All right, everybody, I'm back. Today we have a leak on a 2000s model Silverado, GMC Sierra, whatever you want to call it. Pickup truck, two-wheel drive. The complaint was it's leaking some kind of oil. So we get it in the air, and we're suspecting engine oil, obviously. Well, it wasn't engine oil. It was power steering. And it's leaking out of the boot of the power steering rack, not necessarily the pump or a line, but this one is definitely leaking out of the boot. So if you have a GMC Sierra or even a Silverado, Chevrolet Silverado, and I think this one's like a 2004, maybe 2005, but suspect other fluids other than just engine oil. I'm going to show you where it's leaking. I'm changing out the rack and pinion, but I'm going to show you what to look for to differentiate the two different, either the pump or the rack, maybe even a line. But this one was kind of easy because it was just, everything's dry and it's leaking right out of the boot of the rack. So this was relatively easy. Okay, so you can see at this boot here how dry it is, and then look how wet this boot is. There should be a transfer tube coming from one side of the rack to the other side of the rack, which is right here, going over to here. And all that does is when this sleeve or bellow, whatever, goes out, the air that's accumulated inside transfers to this side, so it doesn't create positive or negative pressure on the rack system. So if you look at this one, you'll see what I'm talking about. Here's the replacement. And if you see the tube, here it is. Comes across. And sometimes they can leak out of these tubes, but this one wasn't. You could see a little puncture hole at the base of the boot. But suspect a rack and pinion sometimes. It's not always what you think it is. Just like in this case here, the rack and pinion is two-wheel drive, so it sits on that bolt right there, and this bolt right here comes through, and you got a shaft that comes down. Relatively simple to take off. So it just is what it is. But that's the rack and pinion. Always suspect them. Now, when I take them off, I'll take a gauge like from this line here, measure out to get it as close as you can to the alignment, because this one has it too. See the line, the mark? There's a mark right here. Then you measure from that mark out, and it will put you very close. It'll put you very close to where the alignment should be, but you always check the alignment afterwards. Well, until the next time. So I hope that helps you understand that other fluids are in the system. Now, some of the later model vehicles have electric steer, and you don't have to worry about the rack leaking or whatever, but suspect the rack on fluid leaks too. It's dark in color, so you think it's going to be engine oil, but in this case it wasn't. But until the next time, just remember, I'm an honest man trying to run an honest business.